Coastal Television, in partnership with Star Ghana, a multi-donor agency that seeks to strengthen transparency, accountability, and responsiveness in Ghana, has launched a media engagement and a documentary that seeks to promote the engagement between citizenry and their assemblies. The project seeks to bridge the gap between citizenry and the assembly, focusing on educating the public on the core mandate and the functions of their MMDAs. The launch brought together personnel from the media, Ghana Federation of the Disabled, National Commission for Civic Education, and the representative from the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly, as well as some traditional rulers who contributed to the discussion on the subject.
PM for no say. Which type of orientation has been given to these assembly members? Orientation, by and yema assembly members who se ampa yejumani na assembly member wada na obi abaka kire se me yere ne miako ti behwe neka. Is it part of your mandate or say national policy? Na national policy nso fa awarijaye ho na wakotena ho na assembly member obi ni kaya kutim ni akofra assembly member. I mean, those things are not the mandate of the assembly member. The Coastal TV ni moye de papa said the nana makano and na me to so we nanka kaneno information service for na ye ni ewon kurase se car to siniaba sa na ememe na omoye edi kirekire me pamcho mo mai momodia na assembly member for no yentiase yema omo entete papa nimdima omungu wo mo asede na aban no so omo modin na se obi odi ade animu pa beko obeba na de ayro hokura ne se assembly member for no ada omo beko sitting na omo nya si omo kura se assembly a
video documentary was also unleashed to educate the public on decentralization and the role of their district assemblies. The 30-minute video took into detail the structure of the local government, fund sourcing, and the assembly members, and other pressing issues. The executive director for Coastal Television, Mr. Seletoyomi, spoke about the Fontonfrom project, which is an initiative that connects and engages the assembly members of parliament and other government officials on the development of their communities and central region as a whole.
In the past, we did a lot of education on the role of the member of parliament. Because many people had the misconception that the member of parliament's job was to see to it that schools are built, toilets are built, roads are built, and all that. And they underplayed the role of the member of parliament as a lawmaker. So you go to many communities and you see that, the MPs are virtually running clinics and they are not even able to go for sittings, parliamentary sittings. And sometimes it's a shame when we see what happens in parliament. We see parliament and most of the seats are empty. And most of the MPs are probably in their constituencies solving problems for the individual members. So in our own small way, we tried to educate people on the role of the member of parliament. And towards the elections, we ran another one where people were actually informed as to who they should vote for as their MP, not in terms of vote for this person or that person, but we wanted the elections to be issue-based. So we were telling them the kind of qualities to look out for in the person, not the person who promises you toilets and things like that, but the kind of person you are convinced that if he goes to parliament, will be able to articulate views that were near to the benefits not only of your constituency, but the nation as a whole. Having done that, we felt there is a gap, because if we're telling people that the member of parliament is the one who is not the person responsible for development in your community, then who is? So we thought it was very important to now project the assembly, because it is the assembly's responsibility. They are the frontliners. When we talk about decentralization, the assembly's are the ones who are to ensure that development takes place in the various districts. So the project we have now, which we are doing a launch of today, a media launch of today, has been dubbed Fontonfrom. And when you have Nananum here, it's very difficult if you want to explain your philosophy about why you chose the name Fontonfrom. But I want to crave your indulgence to explain why we chose the name Fontonfrom. Fontonfrom, as many of you are aware, are talking drums. They are talking drums, and they are specialized talking drums. We have so many types of talking drums. We have the dondo, we have the tumpan, we have the achimavu, and so on and so forth. And in Ghana here, most times when we drum, dancing goes along with it. But my observation, I'm not all that old, but over the years that I have been within the area of looking at some of our music and dance patterns, I have seen that when it comes to Fontonfrom, much as it is one of the most elegant and all that, hardly would you find people dancing to it. Once in a while you find people dancing to it, but people would rather listen and enjoy it. But a dance goes with it. And that is the same for me that goes with our assembly concept. Although it was given birth to long ago, it even preceded the 1992 Constitution. Still people are onlookers. They look at the assembly as something which is beautiful, something that should work for them, but they are not really participating. And so that give and take aspect is missing. Some people don't even understand how the assembly works. Thankfully, in fact, if you look at the various systems in place, when you go around with our baseline study, many people know what the assemblyman in their community is supposed to do. Thankfully, they know what the assemblyman is supposed to do. But if you go a stage further and you ask what the assembly is supposed to do, what is the role of the presiding member, what is the role of the MCE, they are lost for words. Worst of all, citizens don't even know that they can hold their MCEs and for that matter, the assembly, accountable. So this project is meant to sensitize communities in CCMA, that's the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly, the Mfansaman Municipality, Chifuhiman, Lower Denchira, HLD, the KEEA, and I think I've left out one, AAK, yes, AAK. We want to sensitize them to know the role of the assembly. And what we want to achieve at the end of the day is to find a better connection between the people for whom the assembly is and the people. There should be a better connection. We also want it to be seen in a visible way. For instance, we want people to understand why they pay taxes and levies and things like that. And at the end of the day, one of the indicators for us is if we get people paying more taxes, more levies and things like that, it is showing, it is a proof that indeed the people are beginning to understand. And we also want to see more of the assembly reaching out to want to educate people on what their actual role is. So we are going to be using TV, we are going to be using radio, and then we're going to have road shows. We'll go to all the communities that I've mentioned, we'll have road shows and interact with the people over there. Now, we also find out that in all these, there's a big gap because we have the traditional authorities as well. How does the traditional authority blend with the district assembly to get things done? Because the traditional authority is indeed also passionate about seeing development in their areas. And so is the district assembly. How are we harmonizing all these so that at the end of the day, the people know that when it comes to this problem, I have to go to the traditional authority, or I have to go to the district assembly, or maybe I have to wait for my MP to come. These are questions that I don't have answers for. And that is why we have all of you over here. We have Nananum over here to help us. We have the NCCE here to help us. We have presiding members, current presiding members And we thought it was strategic not only to have current presiding members, but to even have past presiding members, because they have seen it all.
In fact, this engagement means a lot to NCC. Because engagements like this is what NCC always look for. Because like I said, definitely we are stakeholders in such engagements. So no doubt, it means a lot to NCC.
You said something intriguing, that in the run-up to the elections, the politicians will be chasing the electorate, and thereafter, after the elections, it is the electorate that will turn around to also be chasing the politicians. I mean, the non-existent politicians.
Yes, that is the practicality of what we experience in our political dispensation now. Yes, you and I can agree that yes, in election time, the way especially our parliamentarian, and here we are here talking about the lower assembly, the disassembly. They are not different from what is happening from the National Assembly. And here we're saying that election time, you see the politician or the people who want to be elected reaching the people wherever they are in their communities. But they win power and never will they be seen in those places they earlier went to seek for elections.
Like that has been said today, I think we need to get what, we have talked about here outside for the people to understand, for the people. Even I have learned a lot when it comes to government. And, but I have certain issues. I don't know whether this is the right place for me to really discuss this. Okay, I mean, okay, let's start from the assemblyman. I really have an issue with the standard of education of some of them, you understand? I'm not saying all of them in general. I mean, I can point to one or two that I cannot believe that these are the people that are taking our so-called cases to government, you understand? Like problems that we have. Because they cannot even communicate. I don't even know how they became assemblymen.
If the people that are qualified and eligible to stand are not doing so, why won't the people that are, uneducated stand and be voted for?
It's okay, that is a problem. That you've got a very good point there. But the thing is that we need to emphasize on the level of education of our assemblymen and women. You understand? So that when we put things across, our problems, things to do with our various communities, they're able to, relate, they're able to express themselves, you understand, when they take these problems forward. But some of them, yes, like we were saying earlier on, they're so eager for you to vote for them to become their so-called assemblymen and women. But when it comes to the actual job, you find out that they take a back seat. Then it becomes more of the status. You understand? Having the name, I am an assemblyman or woman, becomes more important to them than the actual doing of the job. You understand? And this is where my concern is. And if we don't, start to clear things from the bottom, it will trickle its way all the way. You understand?
So now you are impressing on the electorate to elect people that can communicate and understand the basic tenets of the society, so that they can go to the assembly with their problems.
And I'll give you my reason why. Because years ago, I remember when it came up that they were going to elect or vote for assemblymen and women. And I remember saying to somebody, oh, that's a good opportunity for me. This is before I became a queen mother. A good opportunity for me to take up such a position and see what I can do for the community. And immediately it was like, no, that's not your level. And I was like, what do you mean it's not my level? In other words, what they're saying is, you're too educated for that level. Hey! I mean, since when did it become like this? So I said, so who is supposed to take the position of an assemblyman or woman? And it's like, they were kind of like bringing the education level to some,
just
very,
like
very
the qualification
low.
is different from that of the member of parliament.
That's right, you understand? Okay,
so
I understand.
To go to contest the
Exactly, they are saying that, you need to go. And I didn't really see the reason why they were saying that, you understand? So does that mean that we have accepted the fact that our assemblymen and women, I'm not saying all, some are very good, some know exactly what they're doing and they're helping their communities. But I have seen some that are like, it's very frightening that these people are the ones trying to help us. What are they doing? They're not doing anything, to be honest with you. You go in there and sometimes I have to ask, who is the assemblyman? And he's tucked away in some corner.
Was debate We're looking forward to such programs because for a long time we keep talking about decentralization, we keep talking about the district assembly systems, we keep talking about, they virtually don't know so much about what is our expectation. Here you form now what our expectations are. Being in mind for all disabled persons, when you mind common fund, worker disabled, worker district assembly, when you have common fund, well they can't say anything again better about the district assemblies. And see if when they put together such a program and they are expecting our inputs. Now you two see as the input as Ashemza, none yet the Costa TBS for putting together such a package. Yes, I'm here the Star Ghana Fast, the which was it as out today was Abraham.